Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome back to yet another monthly market update. My name is Kurtis Hawkins, and I'm here with Brett Gurr from the Real Estate One team. And today we're going to be going over the monthly market update for the month of January, February, March, April. So it's May now. We're going to go over the previous month to see what's going on in the market. What do we got, Brett?
Well, let's start off with homes sold. So current month homes sold, we had 182. Certainly we're getting into springtime. Things are starting to move a little bit quicker now. A month prior to that was 151, 107, and 99 prior to that as well. Last year, same time, 235. So certainly last year was a crazy year. 235 moves same time last year. 5-year average we're looking at is 151 for the month of
I think it's just we're getting into that springtime, so we're starting to see more volume, 30 more than last month. More volumes coming in, but it seems like we're a broken record because we keep comparing everything to last year, and last year was crazy. So I don't know, the market in general I think is moving, especially in certain price ranges.
Yeah, it certainly is. We still have that low inventory that we're dealing with, right? We still have that low inventory, so when homes do come on the market, there's not a whole lot of options for people, and there's still agents scrambling for other things on the market that aren't on MLS.
So like you said, with inventory, if you're looking at, we keep saying last year was crazy, last year was crazy. Well, last year at this time, we had 434 active homes in the market, and we were saying how crazy low inventory was. Well, this current month, we have 446.
Exactly.
So it's very low. It's comparable to last year.
Yeah.
There's just not as much movement as last year. There's still quite a bit, but not as much.
Yeah, and the general consensus that we see when we look at our Pillar 9, we always kind of take a look at new listings versus home solds, and typically home solds are normally higher, right?
They're right neck and neck, and then usually when you look at the end of the week, there's always like 2 or 3 more sold than taken off, not even including pending.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you bet. So moving on, average days on market last month, or this current month of April, saw 65 average days on market. Prior to that, 64, 83 for the month prior to that, and 86 before that. Year average, or the last year, this time 37 again, and 5-year average is 78. So we're significantly less than our typical average for days on market.
For 2 months now, we're right around that 65-day mark. So
seem
to be steadying off a little bit. We'll see what happens. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm actually kind of surprised at that. I thought it would have been quicker because I've ran in right in that $300,000 to $400,000 range. I've been seeing lots of competing offers. Those ones have been going really quick.
Yeah.
So
I think there's still the other people out there that are still asking for too much money, and they're sitting on the market, right? And I think there's a small handful of people that are, and we do see them. There's ones out there that are 150 days on market that they're just asking too much, and we do see those, and they're driving that average up, in my opinion. So active homes on market, we saw 446 in April, 445 month prior, 414 prior to that, and before was 428. Last year, this time, 434. So we're definitely slightly above where we were last year, and 5-year average 641.
Yes, housing prices are up from last year, despite the rest of these numbers too. So prices have definitely held. They haven't dropped off like everybody's expecting with lower interest rates. I know we kind of say that every month, but I think after the last 3 months, and we've seen that the last 3 months, every month except for December, there was a weird one, but every month consistently is above what the average sale price was last year. So that's a good indicator that the housing market is still very strong. Yeah,
it certainly is, and one statistic we look at as well, which I always find the most interesting, is our average home price. We seem to month have a lot of fluctuation within this, and obviously there's reasons for that. So last month in April, we had 335,000 from 257, or 335,257. Prior to that, 341,952, and 351,783, and 299,614 the month prior to that as well. And then the last year, same time, 348. 496. So we're a little bit down from there, and the 5-year average of 310. So we're significantly up from the 5-year average. Obviously, we're climbing. A few months back, we saw an all-time high in Lethbridge of 351, 783, which was pretty cool to see. One thing I can think that pops off the top of my head that I think can attest to the little bit lower, I think smaller units are selling. I seem to have a lot of people looking for smaller revenue properties, condominiums, things like that. Wrote an offer on a few of them this weekend, and I think that's kind of a bigger thing. Just some people are looking for those smaller revenue properties because the rental market is so high, and I think those little $120,000 to $150,000 condos they're kind of coming back onto the market a little bit. I think they're just a little bit hotter, right? So
I had a suited listing that was just over 300 last week and went to competing, right? So the low 300 price range and lower for sure. Yeah,
suited properties are pretty wild right now. There seems to be a lot of push for those. A lot of investors looking to get into that revenue property as well.
Made an Instagram story about that too.
Oh yeah,
or reel, I should say.
Oh yeah,
the investors are out.
Right. Yeah, I did see that. Okay, and list to sale percentage. So last month we saw 98% listing to sale percentage. So
and that's list price, the original list price to final sale price.
Yeah,
2%. So it's really not much. It's a little bit of a deal, but it's pretty close to ask.
It's pretty big. Like right now, it's certainly still a seller's market, so we're not seeing any of those hot deals. And this percentage right here is a perfect assessment of that, right? Where we're not seeing those hot deals. 98% are, that's the price that these are going for based off the original sale price. So if you want to write an offer that's 40,000 below their ask, probably not going to go anywhere.
The stats are telling you that it's not going to work.
Yeah, and we've all had it. How many times does it work?
Unless none. Maybe if it is listed, it's one of those houses you were saying that's listed for 150 days. 40,000 probably still isn't going to do it, but
but even then, it's pretty typical that there's a reason why it's been listed for that long. It's probably an investor that just wants to get his money out of it. It's probably why it's been listed for that long, and those are the scenarios that I've typically ran into, right? So prior to that, we saw 96.7, 96.7 before that, 95.10 prior to that as well. This time last year,
I think this stat right here is an indication of like how competitive the market is, because you saw in December, January, February, it was less buyers out there, more homes we had a higher inventory at that point, so you can see like everything's a little bit more relaxed and sellers are willing to do a little bit more. But now that it's being more competitive, you're seeing that reflected in that 98%.
Certainly 100%. Yeah. And then we've got the 5-year average sitting at 95.34. So we're still certainly above that. And again, it's a hot market. Yeah, if there's a nice home on the market and you want to put an offer in on it, these numbers show that you've got to be competitive. You've got to go in and you've got to be writing a significant offer that's strong. You know, if they're asking 300, 250 probably ain't going to get you anywhere, right?
So if you're a seller, what do these numbers mean for you?
Well, I think if you're a seller, these numbers mean that it's a great time to sell. I think these numbers mean that if your property is priced well, it's going to move quick and very fast. And there might even, odds are, may go multiple offers.
Yeah. And depending on when you've bought in your house, prices have continued to increase. So you're probably going to do pretty well when it comes to the final dollar in your pocket too, right?
Definitely. Yeah. There's certainly some value out there for a seller. Great time to downsize.
It's not the market where you can expect to get multiple offers all the time. But you know, if you're looking to sell within the next 30 to 60 days, it's probably going to happen for you. So
you bet.
As long as you're priced well, all the marketing's good, all that kind of stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a buyer, what does this mean?
Well, we've seen the interest rate hike, and everybody, prices are going to go down. They're going to go down, but we're just not seeing that.
Interest rates have been paused. The last two announcements, the prime rate, I think I got this right. Don't quote me on this, but the prime rate has stayed, and then mortgage rates have actually come down for a 5-year. So I think I just saw the last update, 4.3 for a 5-year fixed.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It was up at 5. It was near like 5.9 or 4.9 or something. So
it's normal. You know, everybody's got a story of, oh, I was 18%, and everybody's got that story, right? And even when I bought my first place, it was 7%, you know. So
I think because it stayed for 2 consecutive times now, people are a little more comfortable, and they're like, oh, okay, it's not going to keep going up to 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Yeah. So it just provides a little bit more assurance that everything's a little bit more stable now. And from what I've been hearing from other mortgage brokers is that probably this year it's probably going to stay the same, but looking into the future, probably some more interest rate decreases.
Right. So, perhaps. Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen.
No, we don't have a crystal ball, right? We don't know what they're going to do, but the big factor here is, you know, and I feel like a broken record because we do say this every time, but it's just, there's so many. I wrote 3 offers this weekend, and 2 of the 3 were BC buyers, right? And you've got tons of Ontario people and BC people, and they're just, that is causing a major shortage. We're seeing a major population boom from out of province people coming here, and it's just causing a major shortage. And it's a simple supply and demand. If there isn't enough housing, prices continue to climb, and that's what's driving this market, right? So
just continuing a little bit more on interest rates as well, when I know I just said that in hopefully the near future there's some interest rate decreases. I hope that's true. So a lot of people out there instantly go, oh, well, maybe I should wait. But the thing is, when interest rates go down, property values go up. And you can look at it last year, you can see how crazy the market was because interest rates were so low. So it's like, do you want to pay me now or pay me later? And if you decide to pay me later, it's usually costing you more. So timing the market is always better than timing the market as well. So it's always better to get in now, and you better hope that prices start to increase when interest rates drop, and that's better for you, right?
There's never a terrible time to buy a property. Like, there are better times and worse times.
But it's impossible to time.
You can't time it. You can't. And again, like my first property I ever bought, it was 7%. It was a terrible interest rate, you know, but I made money, you know, and then the next one I bought, I made money, and everybody, you know, like high interest rates. So
people shouldn't be looking at the interest rates and what the interest rates are doing. They should be looking at what property values are doing.
Exactly.
And in Lethbridge, they've always gone up. There's a few little, you know, ticks up and down. But if you watch interest rates, like, what's the point of watching an interest rate? Just if you look at a long-term graph, you should be like, wow, I should have bought 4 houses 20 years ago and I'd be a millionaire.
Exactly.
But we're thinking about interest rates and trying to save $2 tomorrow rather than what it's going to turn into 20 years down the road.
Had a conversation with a guy just the other day who was looking at properties a year ago and just 2.5%. I'm going to wait till the interest rates get better. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, I've had people I sold places to a year ago that are now selling their properties for significantly more than what they bought them for a year ago. So that guy shot himself in the foot. Point being, just buy it. And if the market does drop, well, now you're not going to sell it for a gain. You just got to stay in the property for a little bit longer, you know?
And you're not losing money if you just stay there.
No, exactly. You're sitting in an asset that's appreciating over a period of time.
But you're also paying down.
You're paying down, and you're not burning money on rent, right? So yeah, it's quite simple. There's never a terrible time to buy.
You don't need to overthink it.
Yeah. Just do it and then deal with it. If the interest rate goes back down to 3%, refinance in a few years.
Sure. Or if interest rates do go back down to 3%, like I said, your property value is going to go up.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. Anything else that you can think of? Any stories for the week?
Well, there's a little bit of news that just came out. That's unfortunate.
Right.
The city just increased property tax 5%. That just got passed.
Oh yeah.
Great.
What else is old? Hey.
Right. What else is new?
We were the highest property tax in all of Alberta prior to that. So
I know.
Why not more? Hey.
The only thing I can think of is like because there's less density here, like you can get away with because there's if you look in Calgary, if you're taxing everybody that lives in an apartment, well, that's a lot of tax per. Like per square foot, basically. Whereas here we're so spread out.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The only thing that's giving Lethbridge like this step ahead of other cities is because our property values are so low. That's why people want to move here.
Yes.
but the property tax needs to get sorted out. Like, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. They got, they're just down burning money at City Hall.
I don't know. I didn't
certainly establish that there's some fiscal issues that go on down at our City Hall, but
like any city, I'm sure. But
for sure,
I didn't read the article about why they decided to increase it, because does it matter?
Right.
Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. The death and taxes, these are always the things that are consistent in life.
There's three things when it comes to buying a house: death, taxes, and concrete cracks.
yeah, exactly. No kidding. So
but yeah, that's some news that nobody wants to hear, but of course, what do you do? Join the Taxpayers Association, I guess, and try to fight it as much as you can.
Exactly. Yeah, who knows?
We got green bins though.
Ooh,
that also costs us $5 a month. So
garbage get picked up less.
No.
Oh no, doesn't it?
Same frequency.
Okay, I haven't got a green bin yet.
It gets picked up more, so you get your garbage and your green bin, I think, once a week now.
Oh, okay.
Or your garbage and your recycling alternates,
right?
And then your compost is once a week.
Okay, I'm not in the. I must be in the
they haven't got your
crap bins, area of town.
They
I haven't got my green bins.
They started west and they're going
right.
west of
okay.
town. So
yeah.
now there's a green bin for organics, blue bin for recycling, and a black bin just for your regular garbage, I guess.
Okay.
So
okay. Interesting. Cool.
Yep.
Either way, like the green bin's kind of a neat thing, because obviously we all cut our grass. We all do.
Yeah, that's what
that's the perk, right?
Like, what did you do with your grass before?
Yeah, you cut your grass, you toss 2 bags in the black bin, and now you're full.
You're not
right?
supposed to do that.
Well,
yeah, you're the only one, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. Eh?
I don't know, dump it on the side of the grass or the side of the lawn. I don't know what people used to do with them, compost themselves. But yeah, your leaves and all that kind of stuff can go in there, so that is helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, fair enough. Okay, anything else off the top of your head?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
Well, thank you guys again for joining us for another monthly market update. If you guys like this podcast, please give it a rating on whatever you're listening to. It'd be greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to see more of this, be sure to subscribe to either me or Brett on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any of the social medias. And we'll see you guys on the next one.